everyone, this is Russell. Welcome back to mission number 2. Now this mission, we're gonna be covering some really cool things. The title of this mission though is The Greatest Showman, and you will see why here in a few minutes. But to begin and to kind of start ahead of time is, I wanna go back to what we talked about yesterday. So yesterday we talked about offer hacking, and I'm hopefully that you did that. If you didn't do it, you need to stop this right now. It means you're not following the instructions. You need to go back, watch that first video, and offer hack 10 people. If you haven't done that, it's going to be hard to continue to stay up with all the things we're doing because everything's going to be building on top of each other. I want to make sure you don't miss out on that. So stop this video, go back, watch the section on offer hacking, and go and offer hack 10 people so you have some ideas of what's going to be happening, because now we're going to start building upon that foundation. If you don't have it, it's going to be really hard to catch up. Okay? All right, so hopefully you did that, and you've got like an Excel sheet or something written out where you have all these different offers kind of out there, and you've seen like, man, people are doing all sorts of stuff. They're doing grocery lists and books and videos and trainings and events and audios and physical products and like all sorts of stuff, right? And hopefully that gets you excited. Like that's my favorite thing about like watching what people are doing. So I'm like, oh, I never thought about I can include that as part of something and that as part of something. And there's all sorts of stuff, right? But the biggest problem a lot of people have is they don't know how to create products fast, and they get overwhelmed, like, oh, I don't have time, it's gonna take forever, it's gonna blah, blah, blah. And we don't have time, right? We've got a finite period of time. So I'm gonna show you guys how to develop products very quickly. Because for us to create an offer, which is what we're gonna be going deeper into later today as well, you have to have a whole bunch of products to combine together into an offer, okay? The problem with just a product, well, I don't know how, I'll get deeper into that here in a minute, but the problem with the product is if you have a product, then you're competing with everybody else who also has a product, right? When everyone's competing with the same thing, then it's a price war down to the bottom very quickly. And so the way you decommoditize yourself is you shift from having a product to actually having an offer. And this works in any kind of business. If you are selling stuff on Amazon, right now you are probably selling products, and you're competing with everyone else who has products. So because of that, everyone's fighting for the lowest price, and it drives the price down. Okay, if you're in network marketing, you're selling the same thing as 1,000 other distributors, or 10,000 or 100,000. So because of that, you're all competing, it drives the value down. Okay, and so when you have a product, and if you're a local business, if you're a chiropractor, a dentist, a financial planner, like you're all selling the same thing. So because of that, whoever's got the cheapest price is gonna win. And that's a horrible way to do business. My mentor, Dan Kennedy, told me, he said that if you can't be the cheapest, if you can't be the lowest price leader in town, there's no strategic advantage of being the second lowest price leader. So you need to be the lowest price leader or the most expensive. And I promise you, it makes way more sense. It's better lifestyle to be the most expensive, okay? Because then you have money to actually spend on advertising and growing things out and hiring a team and like all those amazing things. And so because of that, you have to learn how to break out of the commodity business, okay? I don't care what business you're in right now, and I guarantee some of you guys are watching and be like, well, my business is different, Russell. If you have that mindset, you're going to be stuck, right? Right now, you're a commoditized business, and any business that I've yet to find a business I couldn't decommoditize by them understanding this part of the process, okay, of taking your product and turning it into an offer. But you have to have a whole bunch of products to be able to bundle into an actual offer, okay? As you hopefully saw yesterday when you were doing all the offer hacking stuff. One like really good example. I don't have my phone on me right now, but if I had my phone with me. In fact, I'll doodle it because that'll be just as cool. So if you look at my iPhone, right? So here's an iPhone. This is the last version. New ones don't have the buttons on it, but let's just say it was, right? So how much does this iPhone cost? Right? Like if I was to go right now and go to Amazon or whatever, it's probably like, I don't even know, $500 or something for an iPhone, right? And everyone's selling for the same price. You go to Apple, so the same price. If you go to Best Buy, if you go to other places, and if you are a retailer selling this, you can get the lowest price. I can sell for $400 or $300. You're going to sell the most of them because everyone's looking for this commodity, right? And so they're not faithful to anything other than just the price. And so for me, like if I'm looking at like that's a horrible business to be in. So instead, what I want to turn this from a product into an actual offer. So how do I do that? Okay. Well, this is the way I do that. I guarantee you, for most of you guys watching this training, I could sell you this exact same $500 phone for $10,000. You want to see how? So if I do this, I come back and I say, okay, the first thing you're going to get when you buy my phone from me is the phone, just like everybody else does. But the second thing you're going to get, this is actually my personal phone, and there's some really cool things inside of my phone that you're going to get as well when you buy it. So the first thing you're going to get is you're going to get actually the cell phone numbers to a whole bunch of really rich and famous people I know. For example, Tony Robbins' personal cell phone number is in my phone, okay? So you have Tony's number, and I'm not going to tell you numbers in my phone, but here's a whole bunch of like famous people whose numbers are in my phone, right? So you have all the famous people's direct access to their things. Number two is in the last, 12 years, I've spent conservatively about $450,000 to $500,000 in marketing and sales and persuasion courses. And most of them came with big, huge box DVD sets, was $1,000, $2,000 for this course. And back in the day, I had all these CDs. I listened to them, but it got really annoying. So I had my brother actually go through all the DVDs from over $500,000 worth of courses and rip them all out and put them into audiobook files. And all those audiobooks are on my phone. So you're going to get over $500,000 worth of audiobooks. They're all on my phone as well. Next thing you get is, I still have my other cell phone that has this really cool app called Voxer. It's like a walkie-talkie app. And so you'll have my direct Voxer access. You could ask me any question you want whenever you want. Like I said, people right now pay me over $100,000 a day for consulting. So you'll have direct access to ask me questions whenever you want. So that's basically like 100K plus consulting hotline. And then on top of that, are you interested in what books I listen to? Because all my favorite audiobooks are also on here as well. So you get all my audiobooks. Also, if you want to know what the podcasts I listen to, because there's a lot of crappy podcasts, these are actually my top 10 podcasts, ones I cannot not listen to. They're the ones that help me understand business, success, personal minds, everything. And the cool thing is they're not like the famous ones, not ones on the top 10 list. They're ones you can't find unless you scroll really, really deep, but they're my favorite podcasts. You'll have all my favorite podcasts all subscribed. So I will sell you this phone right here. The value of the phone is $500. The value of the famous people is, you close one deal, Tony, that's $1 million plus. You get the audiobooks, that's at least $500K worth of value. You get Voxer, for me, it's $100K worth of value. You get all the audiobooks, that's probably $2,000. You get the podcast, that's an extra $1,000. Total value of this is like $1.6 million. I will give you my phone in exchange for $10,000 US. But I gotta give you some urgency and scarcity. I only have one. So the auction's up right now, ready, go, okay? Now I could sell that to my people all day long. Okay, but it's the same phone. Look at it. It's a product, right? It's the same product. Everyone else is selling $500. But what's the difference? I bundled it with this stuff to shift it from a product to a commodity. Now the value goes up. Okay. They may say, well, Russell, is $500 a lot for a phone, right? Well, it depends, right? Like, is $500 a lot of money? People ask me that sometimes. I'm like, well, it depends. $500, for a phone may not be a lot, but $500 for a car, that's like the cheapest car ever, right? And so the same thing here, like the more I can increase the value of what I'm selling over here, the cheaper it becomes, right? Like if I told you I want to sell this phone for you $10,000 before, you're like, $10,000 for a phone? No. But I tell you all this stuff and all of a sudden it's like, wow, 10 grand is a deal. Like I'll do that all day long. Because the more you can increase the value, the less expensive it feels. Okay, so that's what this whole product creation thing is all about and why we are shifting things from products into offers. All right, so what I want to do right now is I want to kind of map this out. So this right here, this is your thing that you're selling. Your thing. Okay? And for all of you guys, it could be different. Some of you guys already have a product you came into this challenge with. Some of you guys didn't. Some of you guys are in a network marketing program. Some of you guys are an affiliate. Some of you guys have no idea what to do. Some of you guys are local businesses. Some of you, you guys are all over the place, right? And I totally understand. So it doesn't matter what it is, you have your thing. And if you don't have a thing yet, again, we talked about this yesterday, become an affiliate for ClickFunnels. That can be your thing for right now as you're learning the skills in this process, okay? So I have my thing. So if I look at my offer list, like the first thing I have, obviously, is my thing, okay? So it's the thing. Okay, but a lot of people are probably selling your thing. So now we got to increase the value of this thing so it seems cheaper. Okay, so now we got to start creating some products. So there are a couple of different ways to do this. One is what we call the written word. Okay, this is text things. I love the written word because, well, as you'll see, there's some really simple shortcuts and hacks to make this really, really quickly. Even if you don't like to write, but there's a lot of value inside of written words, right? Then there's like the spoken word. So this is like audio and video. Videos. Okay, and then down here, they're like physical products. And then over here, there is just other stuff. Okay, now as you were going through your offer hacking the other day, you list these things out. I would love for you to take some of these offers and kind of plug them in here and be like, okay, for the fit to fat to fit offer, what parts of the bonus were written words? Okay, what part were physical products, if there were any? Some do, some don't, right? What things were spoken words, audios or videos or things like that? And what was other cool stuff that they did? Okay, so I'm always looking at this, like every offer, I'm like, okay, what do they have, what do they have, what do they have? And I'm looking at these things like, cool. And what's interesting, as you start going through this, you'll start seeing the patterns over and over and over again of like, oh my gosh, almost all these courses, all these products, all these network marketing programs, whatever it is you're trying to sell, whatever your thing is, it always fits into one of these categories. And the stuff is pretty simple. So now that you did that offer hacking thing, take this template, take this worksheet, it'll be inside your workbook, and I want you to take it and fill this in for some of those different things, okay? So this thing, they're selling a course on this. This, they're selling a physical product. They're selling a squatty potty. They're selling a soap. They're selling whatever. And they start looking at what are the different pieces that they did. And then what basically happens is then when you're creating your offer, you come back, you grab this thing like, hey, this is gonna go right here. And then this right here is gonna go right here, and you start kind of plugging them in, okay? Now let me step back for a minute here. So I'm going to kind of just teach you guys a couple cool things. And there's a training that I will put in the members area as well. It's called 21 Fast Ways to Create a Product. That'll go deeper on this. It'll give you some ideas on hook, story, offer as well. But it'll show you tangible examples of all these things right now. But I just want to go through some because I'm sure some of you guys looking, it's like, Russell, this is going to be so hard. I don't know how to do these things. And the reason why I think initially is because some of the initial ones I'm going to talk about may be kind of hard, right? So the first one, like written word. So what's the written word? Well, you could write a book, right? A book is hard to write. I've written 2. It takes me almost a year to write a book. So that's one of the harder ones, yet it's one that you can do, right? And if you don't know how to write a book or you don't want to write a book, one thing you can do is you can write an outline for a book, right? Like when I did this training, I created an outline ahead of time and I started teaching the outline, right? Same thing you do is you can take this book, you can create an outline, and then there's people we call ghostwriters you can actually hire to go and do this. In fact, you can go to Funnel Rolodex right now and say, here's the outline of what I want to teach, and hire a ghostwriter to go and actually fill in the blanks and to write the entire book for you so you can then get a book back for you. In fact, in the past, I've had books that I've had written for under $500, and so it's like good ghostwriters charge a lot more, up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. But you can get a book written really, really quickly. Like let's say you're like, man, let's say you're selling a supplement that helps people to lose, like who retain water to help not retain water, right? So that's your supplement. So cool, I need a book or an ebook of somebody teaching like the top 10 ways or 30 ways to also get rid of water retention, right? So I could go and hire somebody in the Funnel Rolodex, say I need a book, I want it to be 200 pages, I want this to be the topics, here's the things, and they can go do the research and actually write a book on different ways to get rid of water retention. Now you have that and you can plug it in, okay? So either you can write it or you can hire somebody to write it as well, okay? And we call that a ghostwriter. So I'll write ghost written here. Okay. Another easy one is there's this really cool thing called PLR. It stands for Private Label Rights. Now I'm going to jump over here on my computer, Google PLR golf, right? So PLR stands for Private Label Rights. These are people that have written books, and they'll give you the rights. You pay them a really small fee, and they'll give you the rights to the book that have already been pre-written. So if you look right here, I typed in PLR golf. And if I scroll down here, it's like, here's 600 golf articles you can buy. Here's golf PLR books. Here's golf mega sale. So if I click here, I have no idea what the site is. We're just guessing. So here's golf PLR packs. So it's in articles and books. So for the Golf Guru, Beginner's Guide to Golf, 100 golf playing tips, 23-page ebook. So all this stuff's already been written. And for $11.90, I can buy the rights to those 3 books. I can then take them and I can sell them as my own thing. Okay, I can rewrite them, I can tweak them, I can do whatever, but you own the rights for that one is $12. It's ridiculous. Almost any topic you can think of. Let's type in sales, PLR. There's a whole bunch of people selling PLR in a box, sales funnels, PLR. Anyway, tons of stuff on sales. If I wanted to do weightlifting, boom, here's tons of weightlifting PLR books. There's tons of them. If I want to do nutrition or diet, whatever, you type that with PLR, and there's people who literally paid someone to write a book. They don't know how to sell it, so they sell you the rights to that book. And there might be other people who bought the rights as well, but it doesn't matter. You own the rights, so you can plug that in to your thing, okay? That's the next thing. So PLR is a good one. Another one of my favorites is a thing called public domain. I'm going to write down 1923 because this is a secret year. So public domain, some of you guys may or may not know this, but you know that Walt Disney didn't write Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast or The Snow Princess, which became Frozen. Like, he didn't write any of those. All those are stories that are in the public domain that he took and then republished as his own movies. So things that were written before 1923 are automatically in the public domain, which means the copyright's expired, which means you can go and publish those as your own. And so I'm always looking for good public domain books. In fact, I'm going to show you here in a minute a whole bunch of public domain books right here. I got off eBay for an offer I'm going to create with you guys live. But if you go to Gutenberg.org, Gutenberg's the dude who invented the printing press, but Gutenberg.org is a website where literally they've taken all these public domain books, 57,000 ebooks on every topic you can dream of. They're in the public domain that have expired, that are old, but that's okay. And I'll show you here an example. That's okay. So you type in here and you're like, I'm gonna look for sales books. And it's like, oh my gosh, here's all these books I can take and I can republish as my own. Let's see if I can find one that's cool for you guys here. Somebody's got to search a little bit to find some good ones. I'll type in, let's see, nutrition. Boom, so here's nutrition book. So the No Breakfast Plan and Eating Curse, How and When to Be Your Own Doctor, Food in Wartime, Food Remedies, Facts and Foods and Their Medicinal Uses. Like, there's a whole bunch of public domain books on food you can take and look at. Some are gonna be outdated, but a lot of these are really, really good. Self-help, let's see what they got in self-help. There's some self-help books here. Let's see if we type in O-L-E-O-N. Napoleon Hill. Do you know everything Napoleon Hill wrote was pre-1923? So Think and Grow Rich, all these other ones. Anyway, go to Gutenberg.org and just search. It's super fun. You can start finding all sorts of just amazing things that might fit inside your topic. You can plug in here and you can republish as your own. It just takes a little bit of looking, and then when you find them, they are amazing. Next one that's really, really cool is licensing. Let's see. Okay, a lot of times I'm looking for other content I can package into my offer. So what I do a lot of times is I just go to, in fact, ClickBank's one of my favorite places to go for this. If you go to clickbank.com, ClickBank ranks their marketplace based on what's selling the most right now, right? But what's cool is there's also thousands of people that are so low in the marketplace, nobody's buying their stuff anymore, right? So let's say I have a product on food, wine, and cooking. So click on food, wine, and cooking. Actually, I need to go to affiliate marketplace, sorry. Affiliate marketplace. I go to cooking, food, and wine. And these are the ones that are selling the best right now. So I'm not looking for those because people aren't going to license me those because they're really, really good. So what I do instead is I try to find the worst. Okay, so I go to the very, very back. And it's like, man, these are the worst selling ones, the paleo-based meal planning guide. Now this person probably spent a ton of time and energy writing the paleo-based meal planning guide, and then nobody's buying it, right? Because it's like on page 7 of their marketplace, right? The diabetic cookbook. There's a whole bunch of German ones that looks like 25 healthy chocolate Christmas treats by Pamela, like home pizza chef. Like, these people aren't selling these products anymore. That's how deep they are in the marketplace. Very few are actually selling. So I'll go to these people a lot of times. I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'll look at the sales page, look at the funnel, and I'll see, like, is this something that's awesome in here? And I'll click on it. I'll go to it and be like, wow, this is awesome. And so I might contact this person and say, hey, I see your book right now, you're selling for $37. I love it. I would love to include it in an offer I'm creating. How much would you charge me to license your book so I can include it inside of my offer? And you'd be shocked. I've got deals where people license me their entire product for a couple $100. Everyone's different. Every deal you have to negotiate differently, but for the most part, you can get them really, really cheap. And I find a lot of these on the low end of ClickBank that I can grab, I can license it, I can plug it in and put it back together. Okay? And a lot of other ways you can do this as well, but I just want the wheels in your head spinning about how can I create content really, really quickly that I can plug into my offer. Okay? All right, now before I move into some of these other things, there's a concept I want to explain to you. This is my quote. So it says here on the screen, people will spend more money for the exact same product packaged in a different way. Okay, I'm going to say it again. People spend more money for the same product packaged in a different way. Okay, this is going to tie into everything you're doing is moving from like written word to spoken word to physical, like different things, right? So the case study I want to share with you. How many of you guys read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is in the public domain, by the way? You can get it on Gutenberg.org. So here is Think and Grow Rich. Now, when I first got started in this business, all my mentors said, read Think and Grow Rich, read Think and Grow Rich. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go read it. So I went to Amazon, I bought a copy of Think and Grow Rich. It was like $10 for the book. I got the book, put it on my bedstand, and I didn't read it ever. And I remember I'd go to another event 6 months later and get back on. I'm like, oh crap, I didn't read it again. And then people kept talking about it, and I never did. For like 2 or 3 years, I didn't read it. And finally one day I felt so guilty. I said, you know what? I need to read this, but I'm not a good reader. I'm gonna go buy the audiobook. So I went to ebay.com, and I found the audio version of Think and Grow Rich. Okay, I went and I bought it, and it cost me $97 for the audiobook version of Think and Grow Rich. Okay, now notice this. I spent $10 for the text version I spent $100 for the audio version, 10 times as much money for the exact same product. Okay? Now, is there anything difference between the two? Like, no, it says the unabridged CD, so it's literally the exact same word for word the same thing. Okay? But people spend more money for the same product packaged in a different way because it's more convenient, right? They also spend more money for the same product that's niched in a certain way. Like if I took the Think and Grow Rich book and I tweaked it and called it Think and Grow Rich for Entrepreneurs, and I added in my commentary, I guarantee I could sell that to a ton of you guys, right? Like how does what Napoleon Hill figured out 100 years ago, how does it relate back to what Russell did, what Russell's doing today with the side of funnels? Okay, Think and Grow Rich for funnel builders, Think and Grow Rich for weight loss, Think and Grow Rich for whatever it is, right? You could re-niche, you could rebrand this really easily, or you can make the audio version. But if you look at this, and I have friends who build entire business and product line off of just Think and Grow Rich. They had the Think and Grow Rich book, and they upsold the audio course, and they had home study courses, they had videos and workbooks that helped walk you through the process, and they did live events where you came to their office and they trained you on the principles of Think and Grow Rich, and they did mastermind groups, and they took people all the way through this value ladder. It's just selling the core concepts inside of Think and Grow Rich. Okay? And so that's what I need you guys to understand is that people will spend more money for the same product packaged in different ways. So I'm thinking about that as I'm trying to increase the value of my offer here. I may put in a book or something like that, but how can I increase the value? Well, I know that the text version is worth one thing, but the audio version might be worth more. Okay? Or the video version, the home study course, or the mastermind, or whatever it might be. So as I'm creating my offer here, let's say I take this, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have my thing I'm selling. I'm gonna throw in a public domain book I found, so I'll put in a public domain book here. But then I'm like, okay, what's the spoken word? What can I do over here? Okay, for the spoken word, there's a lot of things you can do. Number one of my favorites and one of the easiest is you can do interviews. Find someone who's an expert on the topic, interview them, and then that interview is an audio, the perceived value is even higher, you can plug that into the offer as well. I'm gonna show you an example of how I do this here in a minute, so I'll give you some ideas. But an interview is a really easy way to create a product very, very fast. Another one of my favorite ones is taking the public domain or taking the book or whatever it is, taking the content, and instead of just having it written out, you build an outline, you get in front of a camera like I am right now, and then you teach it. Okay? So you teach something. I literally, before I got on this training, wrote out an outline for what we're talking about today, and now I'm here teaching it, right? So I can take something that's written, and I can make an outline, I can teach it on video. Now, some of you guys may not feel comfortable on video. The other thing that I've done a lot of times is I turn it into PowerPoint slides, and then there's two software programs I use all the time. One's called Camtasia, if you're on a PC, or it's called ScreenFlow if you're on a Mac, that records whatever happening on your screen. So open up the PowerPoint slides, I click record, and I just teach as I'm going through the different slides, teaching the stuff. And when it's done, I have a video that has high perceived value that I can plug back in here. Okay, so I could interview someone, I could teach something on camera, I could teach something through ScreenFlow or through Camtasia and get a video file. Now I've got a video teaching the core concepts I need people to understand here, okay? Another way I can find really cool, like hard to find stuff, right? Hard to find. So like a lot of times I'll go to YouTube and I'll be like, okay, what's the topic of the thing I'm trying to sell? I'm trying to sell this thing on Think and Grow Rich. Maybe I'll go to YouTube and type in Think and Grow Rich. In fact, let me do that right now with you and see what we find. I type in Think and Grow Rich, and check it out. Here is somebody, that may be the original Napoleon Hill, okay? So check it out. There's Napoleon Hill teaching back in the early 1900s. There's Earl Nightingale teaching, reading Think and Grow Rich and on video. Oh my gosh, like there's all these amazing things, right? These are all public, okay? So imagine I took some of these and said, hey, I was able to find these really cool videos of Napoleon Hill. They're posted live. It took me a long time to find them. I found one of them, him teaching the laws of success in full length. I found this other video of him doing this thing, and like I'm finding all these different cool videos and these things. And I said, I've compiled these for you. I'm going to bring them back, and actually I will give you those as well. Okay, so now I throw in the videos of Napoleon Hill teaching his principles, right? Now, these are all free on YouTube, but where are they at? How are you going to find them? You can't. I'm the one who went and compiled these things and found them for you. Okay? You have to understand that you as the compiler of information, there's a lot of value in there. If you can compile it and add a hook and a story to it, suddenly the increased value goes up dramatically. Okay? A lot of times when I have squeeze pages where I'm building a list, I will find a video on YouTube, and that becomes what I give away. I say, give me your email address. I'm going to give you a video of Napoleon Hill showing you the laws, a full video of Napoleon Hill teaching the laws of success. They opt in, and I just link them over to the YouTube video to go watch that video. Okay? There's a lot of cool things you can do that we'll get deeper into as we go into this, but just an idea, videos that are hard to find, you can find them, you can compile them, and then that can be part of your offer. Okay? You can do events. teaching it. You can do events, you can do masterminds, a bunch of things like that that you can pull in here as well. Okay, now I'm gonna shift to physical products, okay? So what are physical products you can send people as well? There's books, there's journals, there's anything you can find on Alibaba or different sites. There's tons of different things. Like if somebody's buying your thing, what physical products would they like to go with it? Right? They want a journal, they want a keychain, they want a flashlight, what are the things? So start looking like what are the different physical products that are possible that I could plug in here as well. Then what's other stuff I can have? Maybe they want a phone call with me, maybe they want a Skype conversation, maybe they want my private Facebook group, maybe they want, and I start plugging these things in, right? Now I've got this whole like dashboard of potential things to be part of an offer, and I'm able to start pulling them in really, really quickly. Okay? And so that's kind of the core concept I want you guys to understand. So the first thing you should be doing is taking this, going back to your 10 offers from yesterday and plugging them in and start seeing how these things fit out. Like, wow, 2/3 of what they had in this offer were written words. They had this, some other stuff. They had these, like, these are the pieces. And you start seeing that, and you start seeing it through this lens. All of a sudden you're like, man, this is how people are creating these offers. They're just plugging into one of these 4 things, grabbing the pieces, and boom, they have an offer that fast. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna show you guys an example of this. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I've been thinking and talking about this for a long time, and I'm excited to share this one with you. Okay? So a little while ago, there was a movie that came out that I really liked, and my kids liked. We all liked it. It's called The Greatest Showman. Boom. How many of you guys have watched this movie, The Greatest Showman? Hopefully you have. It's the life story of P.T. Barnum, who was one of the greatest entrepreneurs in this world, right? So I'm gonna take this. This is gonna become the product I'm going to sell, right? It's the thing. Everyone's got a thing. So let's just say for right now, this is the thing that I picked, okay? So there it is. There's the P.T. Barnum disc. Now, right now, this is a product, but it's a commodity, right? Because if you go to Amazon, it's one price, you go somewhere else. Like, if I was to go and say, this is going to be my business, and went door to door, I could probably only sell it for about what it's worth. And I guess it's worth, I think we paid like $20 for it this morning when we bought this, for this example, right? So it's worth $20 and that's it. Like, I'm not going to get $50 or $100 or $1,000 for this, right? Just like my iPhone, I couldn't get $500 for my phone anywhere else unless I shift it from a product into an offer, okay? So step number 1 is you take the product, okay? Now what I want you doing is I want you thinking through what we talked about earlier with the 3 core markets, okay? If I just sell this to everybody, the value's not that high. The more niche specific you can get, the more value there is, the more expensive it can be, right? So if I come back here to my 3 core markets, and I have health, wealth, and relationships, I'm gonna say, okay, what do I know about P.T. Barnum? Well, he was an entrepreneur. He started business, started companies. Okay, so I'm gonna sell it as a wealth product, okay? Because that's interesting, it's different, okay? So there's gonna be, then over here, submarkets, entrepreneurship. Okay, so I'm gonna sell this to entrepreneurs, okay? And then there could be other ways I niched out, but for right now, I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna sell this to entrepreneurs, okay? So there's the market I'm going after, okay? So now that I know that, like, what do entrepreneurs want? If I'm gonna sell this to an entrepreneur, what else do I have? What else can I do? Okay, so start thinking about entrepreneurs. I'm like, okay, entrepreneurs who watch this movie, what are some of their fears or their false beliefs? Okay, so I started listing those out, like, well, they're afraid, like after watching, it's like, well, P.T. Barnum, maybe he was kind of a scam artist. Maybe that's why, that's why he was successful. Or like, oh, maybe, well, it's because he lived back in the 1820s. Maybe it's because, and they have all these different reasons. Like what are the reasons why an entrepreneur might say no to buying this from you, right? So this is true to anything. So like when I'm looking at a product, I'm looking at, like, if I was to offer this to somebody, what would be the reasons why they'd say no? Okay, and so the reasons I think would be like, well, first, I already own it. It's like, cool, it doesn't matter, I'm gonna get you to buy it again, okay? Maybe they're like, well, it's not applicable to me. Not applicable to me, right? And then maybe it's like, well, I don't know how this would help me grow my company. Like, how would this help me grow my company? How would this increase my sales? Like, I'd have all these different things, right? These are all the false beliefs they have about, like, that P.T. Barnum couldn't help them with. Then I'm gonna come back and say, okay, what are the different products? Like, how do I create an offer to sell this, okay? Because I want to sell this not for the $20 it's worth. I want to sell this for $100. How do I sell this right here, this DVD for $100, okay? I need to turn it into an offer. So I start thinking, okay, what can I do to make this an offer? So the first thing I look at, okay, these are entrepreneurs I'm selling it to. They just watched this DVD. What do entrepreneurs want? Like, what would they want? So I start looking, I'm like, hey, P.T. Barnum lived in the 1800s. Like, I wonder if he ever wrote any books. Like, did he write anything about his business and entrepreneurship? And I started looking, and I actually went to eBay and I found a whole bunch of amazing books. One of the books that he wrote, which is on Gutenberg.org, is called The Art of Money Getting. Okay, so this is the book that he wrote called The Art of Money Getting. It's in the public domain. I can republish it in 5 seconds. Okay, so it's The Art of Money Getting. So I'm like, okay, if you buy from me, you're gonna get the DVD Plus, you're going to get a copy of the ebook of The Art of Money Getting. Which is going to teach you how P.T. Barnum thought about money and finances and how he became one of the wealthiest men in the entire world at the time and how he was able to use it to build a huge media empire. Everything of that is here inside of this book, okay? So now you get the book, you also get this. And I'm like, what else did P.T. Barnum publish? I start looking, and there's a whole bunch of amazing books he wrote. Another one's called Dollar and Cents, which is in the public domain. This is The Struggles, Triumphs of Life by P.T. Barnum, Volume 1 and Volume number 2, also in the public domain. So I could be like, plus I'm going to give you the life work, the entire P.T. Barnum library. I'm going to give you the life work. I'm going to give you Dollars and Cents. So I put those books in there. The Humbugs of the World. Okay, Humbugs, this is the whole book that P.T. Barnum also wrote, talking about all the tricks he did to get people into his business, right? So he's called them humbugs. Same thing nowadays we'd call hooks or stories. Like, what are all the different things he used to get people in? How'd you like to know the top humbugs? Well, this has every humbug he used to get people in. I'm going to give you the humbug book as well. Humbug, okay? All right, so now I got all books. Then I start searching online, like, who else knows about P.T. Barnum? What else is exciting? I started Googling and searching, and eventually I've run into this dude who is one of my friends, his name is Joe Vitale, and he wrote a book called There's a Customer Born Every Minute, which is actually the story about P.T. Barnum. So I went and bought a bunch of copies of this as well. So anyone who gets the DVD from me, you're also going to get this book written by Joe Vitale called P.T. Barnum's Secrets of Business Success. It's going to show you 10 different ways that P.T. Barnum blew up his business, right? So now I have this as well. So take There's a Customer Born Every Minute book as well, and this is a physical copy. So you get physical plus all the ebooks of the other things. And like, what else can I do? I'm like, well, Joe Vitale's still alive. He's like one of the last existing people who really study P.T. Barnum's life in depth. What if I got an interview with him? So I called Joe, and I'm like, can I do an interview with you? I'm going to interview on your book about P.T. Barnum. And my guess is he's going to be super excited that someone cares about it. I interview him, and I'm going to throw in this interview with the person who spent more time trying to understand the marketing business behind P.T. Barnum's life than anybody else. So it's like you get the interview with Joe Vitale. And then I asked Joe, like, as you were doing the book, do you have any other like cool things you created or different stuff you put together I could also include in my offer? He's like, oh, well, he happened to have also written a manual called The 10 Rings of Power Manifesto, P.T. Barnum's outrageous, bodacious, courageous, evidence-based strategy for accelerated business growth in chaotic times. And he wrote this book, and he basically said, hey, I'll give you rights to be able to give this away to people. 41 pages, which is like everything in today's market of how you would apply P.T. Barnum in your life. Boom. So there's that right there. So I got Joe Vitale's report. The other thing I'm going to give you is I'm going to set up a Facebook group for a bunch of people like me who are excited about P.T. Barnum. We can talk about how we implement these strategies inside of our companies. So I'm going to give you guys access to the private Facebook group. I'm also I'm going to do a call after I went through all this stuff. Like, what were my thoughts? Like, what was the stuff that I found the most exciting? So I'm also going to do a call with you guys where I'm going to go through all of my favorite stuff and how it relates back to the funnel world and how we can use inside of our funnels. Okay, Now I have a sexy offer. So I came back to you now and said, look, this DVD sells for $20 at Kmart, but I want you to actually give me $100 for it. But when you do, what I'm going to give you is, I'm going to give you this, and 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 this. Okay? As long as I had the right person. If I tried to sell this to somebody who didn't care about entrepreneurship or business, they're not going to buy it. Okay, that's why it's essential ahead of time we figure out who is our dream customer. We figure out who that person is, and then we come back, we make this special offer for them, and now we can actually sell it. Any entrepreneur who saw this would pay me $100 for this book with all these bonuses because now the perceived value went up dramatically, right? And now it's no longer a product where I'm fighting against everybody else. Now it's an offer where I'm standing alone in my own blue ocean where I'm the only person who can sell this same thing for $100, okay? Isn't that fun? So that's the magic of what we're doing, you guys. And this works in any business, okay? Let me just kind of freestyle with you guys for a few minutes here. So let's just say you're a chiropractor, right? And right now, your product is chiropractic care, right? And if you're here in Boise, you're driving down the street, there's a chiropractor on every single corner, right? And all of them charge the same thing, $50 for an adjustment, right? So what happens? Most of the customers, most of the people who need it, they go on Groupon, they try to find a discount. Like, what's the cheapest chiropractor I can get? And they find the cheapest one, they go there, get adjusted, and they find the next cheapest one, and they just go to the cheapest option, right? So that's one way. Or you could look at this differently and say, how do I create an offer? How about if you come to my chiropractic practice, not only do we give you an adjustment, we also give you a massage, we also give you nutrition advice. We give you these 3 books that are going to help you to have more energy in your life. And we're going to give you this can help you lose weight. And we'll give you these supplements. And all of a sudden you can create a really good offer that now your adjustment that everyone else is selling for $50, you can sell for $250. And people will drive past 5 different people to get to you because your offer is so much better than everybody else's. Like, this is the magic, you guys. This is all the stuff that we're trying to do inside the funnel world, right? Is taking these everyone who's selling a product and trying to break it from being a commodity and turning it into an offer, because then you can sell it for what it's actually worth. Okay, that's the magic we're talking about here. So, let's say you're network marketing, right? You are selling the same thing as 10,000 or 100,000 or a million other distributors. So how do I differentiate? Okay, if I'm selling the same things as everybody else. In fact, some of you may or may not know this. I was in a network marketing company, and they came out a contest where they were giving away a Ferrari to whoever make the most sales. So I thought, okay, I'm selling the same product as 10,000 other people, or however many it was. So I need to make it into an offer. So I said, you can buy the product from me or from anybody else. But if you buy it from me, I'm going to give you the product plus, and I made an irresistible offer. Boom. Within 30 days, I won a Ferrari because I sold more in that 30-day period of time than all the other distributors combined. Okay, because I turned it into an irresistible offer. Okay, this is the magic. Like, if you can give me any business, I can plug this thing in. Okay, and now that you offer hack 10 people, you have the context, right? You've seen this. You've seen offer after offer after offer after offer. You've seen at least 10 of them, and hopefully more. Every email you get, every ad you see in the future, hopefully you start offer hacking and you keep seeing the process over and over and over again. Because for you, all you have to do is figure out, what am I selling? And then I need to turn it into an offer. What are the different pieces? Can I put in books, reports, videos, Facebook groups, physical products? Like, you're going back through what we talked about earlier and trying to plug it in to make an irresistible offer. Okay? So your homework for tonight, what I want you guys to do is have some fun with this. This is not something that's gonna be real yet. I don't want you going and stressing out and trying to create your product, because if you do that, some of you guys are gonna stress out and nothing's gonna get done. I want you to do what I did. Find something like this. Okay, I just pulled this off the shelf this morning. I was trying to figure out something, and I was going through my bookshelves. I found a bunch of stuff. Like, I put this together pretty quickly. Okay, so for you, go to your bookshelf, go to your DVD library. I would recommend books. Books are a lot easier, I think, sometimes. Or go to your pantry and find a physical product, or find something. Find just any product. And we're just doing a case study example, right? And I want you to take that product, and I want you to dream up an offer. You don't have to go create it. You don't have to go scan all these books and turn them into ebooks, all that kind of stuff, or whatever you're going to do. But just have some fun with this and see if you can create an irresistible offer. I want you to create it, and I want you to go pitch it to somebody. Okay? And I think you should pitch it to your spouse. You should pitch it to your kids. Your kids should pitch it to the parents. You should go talk to someone you know close and just try to say, hey, and tell them, like, I'm not trying to sell you this for real, but I just want to see, like, I want to get your feedback if you think this is a good offer. And then come back and say, okay, if you buy, let's say this is this book right here. If you buy this book, there's a customer born every minute. This is what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you the book, but I'm also going to give you this and this and this and this and this, and see how much you can increase, how high you can increase the perceived value of it, and see if someone would pay you $100 or $1,000 or $5,000 for that thing. Okay, so that's the game plan. That's the game for tonight. Is to pick just a random thing and then try to actually turn it into an offer. And if you get stuck, some of you guys are gonna be like, Russell, I can't do it because I'm selling spatulas. And I want you to think past that. Don't say, hey, this won't work for me. Think, how will this work for me? Okay, someone's buying a spatula. Who are they? They are looking at health potentially, right? So if I'm selling people who want health, what's the spatula do? Well, the spatula's gonna help them flip pancakes. Okay, but if they're healthy, they probably don't want pancakes, because pancakes are pure carbs. So maybe it's like, I'm gonna give you the spatula, but this is a spatula that's gonna help you actually get healthier. So then on top of that, I'm gonna give you my recipe that I found for keto pancakes. So when you're flipping these pancakes, you are not actually gonna gain weight. And then on top of that, there's this really cool site I found that sells keto syrup. I'll give you a link to the keto syrup. And then next time I'm gonna give you this keto cookbook. It's gonna give you 15 different ways, whatever it is, right? And you're just trying to create an offer out of anything. Like, give me any random thing off the street, and I can sit down and within 5 minutes I can figure out some kind of offer. And that's the skill set you guys need to learn right now. Okay, because when you're launching your funnels, all funnels are a whole bunch of different offers. Okay, an offer on why they should click on your ad, an offer on why they should give you their email address, an offer on why they should give you money, an offer on why they should give you more money, an offer on why they should come to your live event. Like, all it is you're creating offers and you're just trading people. So the better you get at this, the more money you're gonna make. Okay, these are the fundamentals. These are the foundation of how you have a successful business. Okay. The reason why I have had so much success in the last 4 or 5 years is because I've been doing this for 15 years. And in 15 years, I've made literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of offers. And some work and some don't. Okay? But when it all comes down to, like, what makes an offer work, it's really simple. It's this. Somebody's got money in their pocket, right? So they have money and you have an offer. And they just got to look at this and you say, okay, this is the thing I'm selling. And they're looking at this thing. Is it worth it to, like, I'm trading, like, is this worth it? Like, that's it. That's all that business is just, is this thing you're selling me, is it worth this? Okay, and right now, like, no, that's not worth the $100. I can buy it somewhere else, $100. Like, cool. How do I make this more valuable? I need to increase the offer. I'm gonna add in a book. I'm gonna add in a coaching program, a training program, until eventually it's like, oh my gosh, I have to give you money because the offer is so valuable. Okay, so the better you get at increasing the value of your offer by what you're bundling in there, the easier it'll be to get people to give you money. There's a point where people can't say no because the offer is so good that it's like, this This is like if someone said, give me $100 and I'll fly you to Hawaii and you'll spend 6 weeks there and all your kids will come, your wife and everyone, and you'll have sushi on the beach every single, like, I will give you my $100 because that offer is so good, right? But if you say, hey, give me, I'll give you a box of tissue for $100, it's not because the offer's not good. So how do I increase the value? Okay, that's it. That's the whole game is played. How do I increase the value? So that's the game for tonight, you guys. Have some fun with it. And we'll come back tomorrow. We're going to come down and start figuring out your specific offer. We'll get deeper into that. So thanks so much, you guys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.